Make sure you guys hit the subscribe button if you guys are enjoying the content that we're throwing up. And make sure you guys hit the like button if you enjoy the video. And yeah, let's begin. What's going on, guys? This is Rob, and we are back yet again to celebrate our love of superheroes by finding ways to kill them. That's how we at Comics Explained celebrate our love of superheroes. We get rid of them. And in this video, we are focusing on the Cosmic Ghost Rider. So before we get into how to eliminate this guy, we'll get into his origin and powers so we can see what we're up against. So the Cosmic Ghost Rider was created by Donny Cates and Jeff Shaw and first appeared in Thanos number 13 in 2018. Now, as for his origin, he is actually a composite of a few different characters and concepts that already existed in the Marvel Universe prior to his creation. Originally, the Frank Castle of his universe and his origin was very similar to the character origin of the Punisher Frank Castle in the main Marvel Universe. He's basically a guy whose wife and son were killed by members of the mob, so he becomes a vigilante dedicated to doling out justice to criminals. Unlike the main Marvel Universe version, this version of Frank Castle's Earth is basically invaded by Thanos, and all the superheroes are killed in an attempt to win the affection of Mistress Death. And so the Punisher dies during the Earth's heroes' final battle with Thanos when he's struck by a piece of debris from a building destroyed by the Hulk. And so upon his death, Frank is sent to Hell, where he strikes a deal with Mephisto. In exchange for the opportunity to exact his revenge on Thanos for destroying his planet, Frank agrees to take on the spirit of vengeance, which transforms him into the Ghost Rider. Now, as the Ghost Rider, the problem with this is that as the Ghost Rider, Frank Castle can't leave Earth. And so yes, he wants his revenge on Thanos, but he cannot actually get to it. But all this changes when Frank is visited by Galactus, who was injured by Thanos, and Frank convinces Galactus to make him his herald so the two of them could hunt down Thanos together. And so Galactus agrees and imbues Frank with the power cosmic, a seemingly limitless energy source that grants him a variety of abilities such as teleportation, force field creation, and energy blast, as well as matter manipulation, among other things. And so upon receiving the power cosmic, Frank becomes the Cosmic Ghost Rider and fights alongside Galactus for many years until the Devourer has his head blown off by Thanos. And after killing Galactus, Thanos convinces Frank to serve as his right hand as he rules the galaxy. And so because he possesses two of the most powerful forces in the Marvel Universe, Cosmic Ghost Rider is an extremely powerful being. And just to see how powerful he is, we'll go over what each of these forces can give him, starting with the Spirit of Vengeance. And so like all of the Ghost Riders, Frank possesses the Penance Stare, which forces his victims to feel a physical pain equal to the intensity of the amount of pain they've inflicted on others throughout their entire lives. He's also able to create and control Hellfire, an extremely powerful flame that injures not only the bodies, but the souls of those who are exposed to it. Now, Frank's Hellfire was so powerful that it took out the entire horde of Annihilus with little difficulty, and was also able to melt Thanos' face off. Now, from the power cosmic, Frank gets a variety of abilities, some of which we've mentioned, but basically it can manifest in almost any way he chooses. Frank has been able to use the power cosmic to create energy blasts strong enough to incapacitate Thanos. The power cosmic greatly enhances Frank's physical attributes, including his strength and speed, and in fact, he's moved at a rate of speed that's too fast to be detected by the Chitauri's extremely advanced tracking computer, and is able to move from one side of the galaxy to the other in the blink of an eye. And so while wielding both of these forces, Cosmic Ghost Rider was able to kill a group of superheroes that included Wolverine, Iron Man, Hulk, Spider-Man, Beta Ray Bill, Cable, Storm, Cyclops, and Vision, among others. Now, the combination of these power sources also served to make Cosmic Ghost Rider immortal and virtually invulnerable. He survived repeated punches and eye blasts from Thanos, as well as a blast from Galactus. And after Thanos kills Galactus, he admits that he would be unable to kill Frank, and so he recruits him instead. And so with all that said, how do we kill such a powerful entity? Well, before we answer that, we need to address that he has been killed in comics before when he was struck by Mjolnir being wielded by the Silver Surfer. And so it's possible for him to be killed as we've seen it done. But while Silver Surfer is a really powerful character and Mjolnir is one of the strongest weapons in Marvel Comics, it really doesn't make sense why this would be enough to take out the Cosmic Ghost Rider, as Mjolnir has struck much weaker characters than Cosmic Ghost Rider without killing them. Now, this really seems to just be what was dictated as necessary by the plot, but really, Cosmic Ghost Rider has been injured by characters like Iron Fist and Kamala Khan, which also makes no sense. But we're going to put that inconsistent writing to the side and see what logically would have to happen in order to take out the Cosmic Ghost Rider. And our success in doing this is going to hinge on stripping Frank of the two things that are making him powerful in the first place: the power cosmic and the Spirit of Vengeance. Now, as it relates to the power cosmic, there's only one way, at least that I know of removing it from someone who it's been given to, and and that is for the source of the power, Galactus, to simply take it away. There might be a slight problem with this since the Galactus who imbued Frank with the power cosmic is dead, but there are several versions of Galactus in the Marvel multiverse, so it should be as simple as figuring out a way to transport a nigh omnipotent being through the barriers that separate his reality from Frank's and convincing him to go there and then take the power cosmic from Frank. The only caveat to this is I've never heard of an instance in Marvel Comics where a Galactus from one universe traveled to another universe and took the power cosmic away from a person who had it. But it stands to reason that if Galactus is a universal constant, then every version of Galactus across the multiverse, aside from the Ultimate Universe, would more or less be the same, meaning that they all have the power cosmic, they can all use it accordingly, right? That of course is going off the Abraxas saga from the Fantastic Four, which the Ultimate Universe ultimately changed that, right? So no pun intended, but I'm not really sure if that would be the case, but we're going to assume that it is, right? For the sake of this process, we're going to assume that it is. Now, as for the Spirit of Vengeance, separating the spirit from its current host is possible, and doing so results in the killing of the host. We see a spirit separated from its host in an alternate universe during the events of What If number 28, which centers around the question of what would happen if the spirit was separated from its host, Johnny Blaze. And in this What If issue, a mage known as Azaziah? I don't know. Anyway, a guy named Hornsby separates the Spirit of Vengeance from Johnny Blaze and takes the spirit for himself. Later, Blaze would use an artifact called the Scimitar of Rahman Beth to kill this guy, to kill Hornsby, but it also kills Blaze and the spirit itself. And so if we can hop across universal barriers once again to the reality where this scimitar exists, we could use it to take out Frank after he's stripped of the power cosmic. If we cannot get our hands on the scimitar, then we're left with the option of separating the Spirit of Vengeance from Frank through a sufficiently powerful act of magic, which would kill Frank and thereby accomplish our goal. The only way I could really consider us being able to do that, at least having sufficient levels of power to do that, we would probably have to visit the Sinner's Market and then basically bargain away 100% of our soul for 100% of absolute power. That's the only way that I could consider us doing that. Either that or somehow getting Mephisto to do it, which I doubt would actually happen. By the way, if you're wondering why Johnny Blaze didn't die when he was separated from the spirit in that What If, it's basically because that issue came out in the early 80s, several years before we see Blaze die at the hands of Blade in the early 1990s during the Siege of Darkness storyline, where Blade has his powers bolstered by an entity known as a Demogorge that possessed Blade and allowed him to absorb Ghost Rider's power. We need to cover that story. So our plan to kill Ghost Rider is basically to convince Galactus to strip him of the power cosmic and then enlist a sorcerer of sufficient magical prowess to separate Frank from the Spirit of Vengeance, thereby ending his life. But let me know what you guys think. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you guys think about this. But with that being said, guys, we're going to bring this video to an end. If you are new here to Comics Explained, make sure you guys hit the sub button to become part of the Rob Corps. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you drop a like, and I will catch you all later. Peace.